This is the beautiful Bonsai channel. Dear friends, welcome. In the world of bonsai, there are certain works that, the moment they appear, immediately draw the attention of the bonsai-loving community. Not because they are absolutely perfect, but because they are different in artistic creation, carrying the breath of the true spirit of bonsai. Different in the way of seeing, different in the way they tell the story of a tree, and different in the emotions they bring to the viewer. Such works do not appear often, but once they do, they leave a very deep impression on those who see them. And then a familiar phenomenon begins to unfold. People talk about that work, people study its form, people follow its composition, and people call it a style. From that moment, a quiet question begins to emerge. When a work is powerful enough to create influence, where does the glory of the Pathfinder lead us? When a work is strong enough, it creates influence. Not every work, when first presented, is copied. Only works that truly possess artistic value make others want to learn from them. A work that is strong enough opens a new way of seeing. It can break an old framework, even one that has existed for decades. That is precisely why viewers often pause longer than usual in front of an outstanding work. And in that very moment, the artist steps into the glory of the Pathfinder. That glory does not lie in awards. It does not lie in commercial value. It lies here. Their work forces others to reconsider what they once believed to be the correct definition of beauty. Influence, a sign of true value. We need to clarify one thing, very fairly. The fact that a work is studied or even imitated is not a negative thing. On the contrary, it is the clearest sign that the work has touched the heart of the bonsai community. Naturally, no one wants to copy a bad work, and no one wants to repeat an ordinary beauty. Only when a work is strong enough, truly beautiful and outstanding, does it create a new wave. And in the beginning, that wave always carries a positive meaning. You may not know this. In Vietnam, in the past, bonsai works created in the traditional classical style, known as Vietnamese-styled trees, with fixed forms and layered disc-like canopies, dominated the market for decades, along with their philosophy, ideology, and technical approach. But when a new creative approach emerged, the artistic ornamental tree style, initiated and developed by painter and artisan Dang Xuan Kuang, together with his contemporary generation of artists, a style that embraced diversity in form, where rigid disc canopies were replaced by flowing cloud dispersions, a major turning point was created in the upward development of Vietnamese bonsai. From influence to replicas, a very fragile boundary. Influence and new waves do not simply stop. From influence, if bonsai works continue to be developed through the creativity of craftsmen and artists, they generate richness and diversity. But when influence stops too early, it turns into copying. From an open spirit, people retain only the form. From a new way of seeing, people retain only the outer appearance. And then a series of works that look almost the same begin to appear. Dear friends, the problem does not lie with the Pathfinder. The problem lies here. Instead of continuing to create with their own thinking, those who come after stop at the visible form of the famous work that came before. And this causes the movement of artistic creativity to stagnate. 4. The invisible pressure of the pioneer. Few people speak about this, but the Pathfinder often carries an immense invisible pressure. When their work is copied too widely, the public begins to confuse what is the original and what is the original spirit. The style becomes confined to a few surface characteristics. Even the creator themselves can become trapped in the shadow of their own success. Sometimes, it is precisely the replicas that blur the original message of the first work. And glory, in many cases, turns into a silent, crushing pressure. A quiet manifesto. Dear friends, not everyone needs to become a Pathfinder, but each of us should try not to turn that path into a worn-out trail. The glory of the Pathfinder does not lie in the number of copies that appear after them. It lies here. They have given the next generation the right to see bonsai through a different pair of eyes. When the spirit of creativity is replaced by repetition, that glory gradually fades away. Moving in rhythm with world bonsai. In the flow of international integration, learning from one another is inevitable. Those who practice bonsai need to absorb the shared essence of the world. They need to listen, to observe, and to learn together. The world does not need more perfect replicas. What the world is waiting for are new voices, new winds, new waves in artistic creation, nurtured from lived cultural experience, from nature, from people, and from the homeland where each artist has lived. Only then does influence become dialogue, rather than silent repetition. Connecting ways of thinking. When a work is strong enough to create influence, what truly matters is not which tree form we have learned. What matters is this: we learn how to ask questions, which direction to take with the tree in front of us. Each bonsai enthusiast and creator, continuing the spirit of creativity, does not need to repeat 100% the form of an already recognized work. Only when we dare to move forward with our own thinking does influence stop becoming a replica. Ladies and gentlemen, and bonsai lovers around the world, in this piece, we simply wish to reflect with you on a very natural rule of art. When a work is strong enough, it will create influence. But when that influence is no longer nurtured by creativity, it gradually turns into uniformity, and creative potential becomes blurred. The glory of the Pathfinder is only truly complete when those who come after absorb the essence of ideas and techniques from those who came before, and then dare to move forward with their own thinking and their own artistic hands. Walk forward on your own feet. Do not stop at the footprints of the first person. Art does not live on replicas. Art lives through people who dare to think and to create anew. The glory of the Pathfinder does not lie in how many copies exist, but in how they force others to think differently. And what about you? Do you dare to move forward along your own path? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments below.